I got a comment on the video that I had made, Swirling in the Quest for the Good Man, and again I got more accusations saying that I have some sort of issue with black women having relationships with white men. Now, this isn't the first time I've had to deal with this. I've had to deal with this on my blog, www.shawnsjames.blogspot.com, for years, and I remember the first time I had to deal with it in 2011 when I wrote the classic blog, Sisters, if you want to date a white guy, you better look out for this. And after I wrote that blog, black women got extremely defensive and upset, and some even dropped some really nasty comments saying that I had issues, that I was color struck, and some started talking about the rainbow. That was on another site, Black Bloggers Connect. And whenever you talk about this subject, again, black women get really defensive. What black women who want to attack me don't know is that in the 2015 novel Spinsterella, the Matilda character is the daughter of a black woman and a white man. If I had issues with race, why would I write a character who is the daughter of a white man and a black woman? And this year, as I'm writing the novel Spellbound, the Matilda character's teen years, I'm exploring the relationship that this biracial daughter has with her white father and her black mother. So, if I can write two books featuring a biracial character and a biracial family, then where do I have this issue with black women having relationships with white men? If I'm writing these kinds of stories, doesn't that show that I am unbiased, fair, and balanced? I mean, if I were to write a story about a white black man having a relationship with a white woman, on the other hand, then it would be a different story. Then it would be I'm color struck, I'm I'm self-hating. You can't win with a lot of these black women. I point out some criticisms about swirling because swirling is totally different from an interracial relationship. Anyone would know this who understands relationships. As a writer, I study relationships and I understand the difference between a swirler and an interracial relationship. An interracial relationship is two people who meet each other, who get to know each other based on values, character, things that they have in common, and they decide because they love each other based on the content of their character and the things that they have in common with each other, they decide they want to get married and have a family, just like the one Matilda is a part of in Spinsterella and Spellbound. But a swirler, on the other hand, in contrast, is a woman who has had relationships with low seed, low grade Negroes and realizes that this Negro is never going to grow emotionally past a mental age of about 5 or 6 years old, or even at the best, 11 or 12 years old. And his whole primary focus in life will be Timberland boots, Air Jordan tennis shoes, and getting into it with guys on the block or bickering and arguing on YouTube. So he is stuck at a mental age that she cannot deal with. And in this codependent relationship, she realizes she's stuck with a handicapped child. Pretty much, this man may be 35 or 40 years old, but he's pretty much, again, 11, 12 years old at best mentally. So she wants to get away from this Negro and pursue a relationship with a man who is more on her level. And she wants to call herself exploring her dating options. And the truth of the matter is, she doesn't really pursue a relationship for the right reasons when it comes down to interracial relationships. She is pursuing relationships with these white men in the hopes of getting away from this dysfunctional black man. Moreover, she is participating in a form of hypergamy. She realizes that this black man cannot grow any further economically, so what she's trying to do is jump onto the monkey branch of a white man in the hopes of achieving an American dream. She's hoping to use the monkey branch from the Negro to the white man in the hopes of achieving economic uh, achievement and getting to the American dream. She wants to get to the house, the picket fence, the car, and she knows she cannot do this with this Negro who was stuck in a state of arrested development. This low-grade Negro, this thug Negro she got involved with back in her teens and early 20s, she knows that this male pretty much he does not have the mental capacity to hold a job, to keep a job. She cannot rely on him in any way, shape, or form to build anything. He has no building skills. He has no economic skills because if you give this man a job, he's pretty much going to go out and buy Air Jordans in every color. He's going to buy Timberlands in every color. Or he's going to go and buy more Xbox games because, again, he has the mental capacity of a small child. She wants to get away from this Negro and she wants to go over and monkey branch to this white man. And that's why she wants to pursue a relationship with white men. Again, not out of love, not out of caring for this man, but to use this man as a tool. No different than the gold diggers out here on the other predatory females. She's looking to move herself ahead at this man's expense. Unfortunately, because this black woman, usually in most cases who calls herself Swirling, has low self-esteem, she usually attracts the exact same men that she got involved with before. Men just like this Negro. Men who are low grade, low seed, and pretty much beta males. Men who pretty much who cannot do much for her at all. Usually she goes from the thugs and the dope dealers over to the meth dealers and the bikers or the other opie type beta male simp white men. And that's usually she goes to again because of her low self-esteem and low self-worth, because the only women who want to swirl are those with low self-esteem. Women with high self-esteem and high self-confidence do not believe that they have to go outside of their race to find a relationship with a man. Usually they find relationships with men who they have things in common with, and they understand that because they like themselves, they can find others who like them. Like attracts like, regardless of black or white. And this is something that a lot of people, have a problem with. So they come to me trying to say that I have an issue, when it's clear to me I don't have an issue. I mean, I'm the guy who a couple of years ago wrote an entire blog defending Tamara Mowry when she was coming out here saying that black men were the ones attacking her. And I pretty much deconstructed that point and said, it's not black men who are attacking you, because you really do not know who is writing those comments online. And what I've seen in most cases, most black men do not have issues with interracial relationships between black women and white men. Why? Because most black men know that there are 4 women for every 1 man, regardless of race. And if they have self-confidence in self, they can attract one of those 4 women to them at any given time. So they're not going to try to get upset at a black woman for having a relationship with white men. Because I knew about Tamara Mowry's relationship with Adam Housley for over 4 or 5 years before this even happened, and it didn't even faze me. I knew the same thing about Karen Parsons' relationship. I knew about Robin Givens' relationship with Brad Pitt. It doesn't faze me because I know that there are plenty of women out here available at any given time for any man, and if he has himself confident, he can attract women to him at any given time. So all this talk about me having issues with black women with white men, silly. Again, why would I write a character, a biracial character who was a daughter of a white man, if I had an issue with interracial relationships? And why would I be working on the next book, a prequel to that story, detailing this girl's teen years and her relationship with her white father? Both stories inspired partially by Tia Mowry and Tamara Mowry's relationship with their father. So I understand how interracial relationships work. I understand how a healthy one works. And I detailed that in Spinsterella, and I'm detailing it in Spellbound right now. And I know the difference between a swirling relationship, which is completely dysfunctional, just like the relationship that many of these black women have with these low-grade Negroes like these thugs and these gangsters and these dope dealers. I know the difference between that relationship and a healthy interracial relationship. And if I could write about it without having any issues and write about it twice in 2 different books, It clearly shows I have no issue whatsoever with interracial relationships. That's all I have to say with this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.